Hey guys, I have a little story that I want to start with today. The other day I had my grandparents visiting me here at camp, and my grandpa, when he saw the setup, was like amazed. He was like, this is magical, this is incredible, you're so lucky. And then my grandma, on the other hand, was like, this is terrifying, this is so uncomfortable, I could never live here if you paid me like $1 million. And it was really interesting to kind of see that difference between them. And then this morning I woke up and I looked up at the wall of my tent and I realized that this guy is here. Just a little daddy long legs, nothing special. I mean, not so little, he's pretty big. And then the other day I had a lizard here in my clothes. And last night I had a grasshopper in my hair. So I can see how this life would feel kind of extreme and uncomfortable to a lot of people, but to some others, myself included, it feels pretty magical. So I want to explore that with you guys today a little bit, because it's a really interesting point of difference. And we also have a couple of missions for today. First of all, we need to chop some wood, which I'm not very good at. So I need to keep practicing, because the days are really nice and warm right now, but they're gonna start getting cold really soon. And then we're gonna go see Shaman. Oh yeah, I know, I have a freaking horse now. I have a horse. So we have to go see Shaman. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I want to tell you a little bit about some of the discomforts and fears and all the like unusual things that I kind of take for granted when I'm out here, but that probably might come across as really shocking to some of you. So yes, let's go chop up some wood. This has quickly become like my favorite ever tool. I love it so much. I can't believe I used to live without a chainsaw in my life. How did I do it? I don't know. Oh. And to anyone who says that Vilk doesn't like riding in the side-by-side, let me just show you one thing real quick and close your eyes if you're underage. Vilk, why do you have your lipstick out? I mean, looks like a happy boy to me, but I guess I could be wrong.
I love you so much. I love you so much, Popo.
So I guess chopping wood is a very good example of like one simple discomfort. I mean, for the vast majority of human existence, we've had to chop wood to make it warm for ourselves, right? But now we've got like aircon, we've got central heating, we never have to think about things like this. And so to kind of come in and start doing it all over again like humans used to for the vast majority of human existence, it's kind of new. It's kind of different, and it actually takes a lot of time. This is what we're going to be chopping today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees. We can do it. Oh, I hate that sound. It's so much better. This looks like I've cut down 2 trees, but this looks like I haven't even made a dent in the pile. This took me like over an hour, and I don't know how long this firewood will last me, but probably like a week in the tent, maybe a little less. And damn, that is hard work. But you know what? Like, in a way, I love being out here because I will never ever run out of sources of warmth. This is something that I realized the other day, that like there's so many trees here and there's so many fallen dead trees that I could heat up my life for years, decades probably, with all of this wood. So like on the one hand it looks like hard work, which it is, but on the other hand, this gives you like a lot of freedom and independence. It gives me a lot of peace of mind to know that at least I'll be warm if everything goes to shit. I'm gonna say something controversial that some people may not agree with, but what the heck. So I honestly believe that in an era where like AI dominates our lives, where we're basically spending, a third of our lives inside cubicles in front of screens, we are starved of something profound and ancestral and primal. We're starved of the simplicity of being connected to nature, connected to Mother Earth, dependent on her for things like food and nutrition and shelter. Like, we're starved of being part of a simple community and thinking about the day-to-day rather than obsessing over what's to come and what has been. I really feel like we all have a deep and perhaps sometimes unacknowledged yearning for a simpler way of being. I do. I'll be the first to admit that. I love traveling and making travel shows. I love working with National Geographic, but I don't know what I love more. Perhaps I love this more, deep down. See Shaman now. In order to get to him though, I have to run across a couple of mountains. Okay, let's go. So this is a kind of routine that I've made up. Every time I go see Shaman, which is a few times a week, I actually go on foot. So I go running across the mountains. I do a bit of it's a pretty heavy run. Pretty solid, exhausting run, and I get to see him, and then I come back on foot. So I run back the same way that I came from. So I get in a workout and some time with the horse. Win-win. So Shaman is staying at my friend's private stable with their 4 mares, and they have this giant pasture over there that they can roam. But because there's been a new hay delivery, they just spend the whole day right here. Hey, buddy. Chilling and munching and chilling and munching. Yes, good boy. Hi, buddies. Hello, friends. Hi, buddy. Hello.
This whole getting a horse adventure comes with a lot of learning. I've ridden horses my whole life, but having your own horse is a different proposition entirely. As an owner, you're responsible for everything. Your horse's diet, well-being, health, behavior, everything falls on your shoulders. And I don't mind that pressure, because I know that the reward is having a companion that you can go on amazing adventures with.
As you can see, he is a very good boy. He is gentle, friendly. He doesn't mind it if you clean him, his hooves. He's so well behaved. Except, he's just incredibly lazy. What are you doing? What you up to? You enjoying this? Yeah? Good. Dawaj, give me the second one. Oh, jejku. No, musisz się Oh, jejku, thank you. Oh my God, did you see that? He just gave me his leg. I didn't even have to touch it. He was just like, okay, here you go. He's a very good boy.
But with a horse like Shaman, who isn't exactly the best trained or most motivated horse in the world, I'm having to start slow. This, for example, is groundwork. I won't bore you with the details, but it basically involves working with your horse from the ground as opposed to from their back. A lot of training and bonding happens this way. So that's what we're doing for now.
As it turns out, I need to buy quite a few more things for the horse, which I guess when I got the horse, I knew that I would have to get some gear and some tack, but I didn't realize that there's so many different kinds, and that like one rope could be too heavy and that one halter could be too something. Oh God, and there's just so much to learn. So I'm gonna have to go to a horse riding website and order the stuff. Well, this is a pretty great opportunity to introduce you guys to the sponsor of today's video and my longtime partner, Surfshark VPN. Before I embark on any online shopping spree, before I access my online banking, before I send any sensitive files over the internet, I always turn on Surfshark VPN. So a VPN is kind of like an added layer of security. It's a service that basically encrypts your online activity. Basically, it kind of blurs it so that nobody can see what you're doing, what your activities are. Nobody can access your private information online, which I think in today's world is really extremely important because cybercrime is rampant. So you want to find ways to protect yourself. There is another really surprising advantage to using a VPN, which is to avoid price discrimination. For example, I'm currently looking for some airplane tickets for a trip that I'm planning in a couple of months from now. And using a VPN is definitely making a difference in helping me find the cheapest possible tickets, because ticket prices change based on your location. Isn't that crazy? With Surfshark VPN, you get access to over 3,200 servers in 100+ different countries and 24/7 customer service. So in case something goes wrong or you don't know how to use something, you can always get assistance. I'll just reveal that in my new online identity, my first name is Wolf and my middle name is Pup. Yes, I am Wolf Pup. Don't judge. There is literally zero risk in trying out Surfshark VPN because they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. And I got you guys a special offer. Just go to surfshark.com/AvaZubek or use the code AvaZubek at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Happy browsing. Okay, I got a really nice halter for shaman, which I'm very excited about. And now we're gonna go and wash my hair because I have been sweaty today, and I feel like it's time for a little upgrade. Hey Vilk, do you agree? I think Vilk wants to play. You want to play? You want to play? You want to play? A very common question that I get about being here is like, aren't you scared? And frankly, the answer is no, I'm not really scared here ever. I think I'm more scared when I'm like walking through a city at night. That's when I get really scared. But out here, it's just so peaceful. There are wild animals here, of course. There are like wolves. There's in fact a wolf pack that roams the forests nearby. There are bears. But they don't really approach people. They are scared of humans, so they never really come through here. Except that one time when a wolf did pass through my land last year. That was fun. You know, I think a lot of people are scared of things like, you know, bugs and ticks. You don't really get ticks much here at all. And in terms of bugs, you kind of get used to them. They're not out here to hurt you. They're just doing their own thing, you know? They're just minding their own business. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This is gonna be cold. It is cold. Ooh. Oh, hello. Refreshing. That is refreshing. Once in a while, Vilk will like start randomly barking at 2 or 3 or 4 a.m. And that definitely feels a little bit scary in the moment. But I know that if he's barking and growling at something outside the tent, it is most likely just a wild animal passing through. Maybe even like the village cat, I don't know. But generally nothing serious. And you know, if the animal leaves, he stops barking. He stops growling. But I love having Vilk because he is my personal alarm system out here. And if he spots people passing by, then he will alert me, which is amazing. Ooh, oh my god, my hair is going to be so clean. I'm so excited. So if I had to choose like one thing that makes me feel quite uncomfortable, one thing that I am potentially scared of, it's like accidents, I guess. Ooh. For example, you know, when I was using the chainsaw earlier, like if I cut my leg, that would be really unfortunate, and then I would have like trouble getting down from here. Yeah, that thought is a little scary. The idea that something can happen that debilitates you, that renders you, you know, immovable, and nobody notices for a while. I guess that's like the biggest fear that I have. It's not something that I think about very much, but if I had to choose, then that's what I'm scared of, being out here. What? Want me to brush the other side? Okay. Please tell me you share a brush with your dog or your cat. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Don't judge, because have you seen that study which found that there's more germs and bacteria in men's beards than there is in dogs' fur? Fact. It's a thing. Make a fire! Yeah, we're gonna make a fire. The best thing about living outdoors. Excuse me, can you not eat my butter? Thank you very much. The best thing about living outdoors is cooking over the fire. Every time you cook over a fire, everything tastes delicious.
You know, in the end, I think that's it. It's the difficulties and the discomforts that make me love this outdoorsy life so much.
You know, just out of principle, I will never, ever have a microwave or a dishwasher in my house. I'm guessing at some point I'll move into a house at some point in my life. Maybe in the not too distant future. But I will not have a dishwasher or a microwave. And I am gonna cook over a fire as much as I possibly can. That is my promise to my future self, because this is just too satisfying.
And maybe that in itself is a very luxurious and privileged choice to be able to make, because when I'm out here, I worry slightly less about all the modern inconveniences of our 21st century life. I worry less about deadlines and meetings and projects and money and all the anxieties that the world is dealing with today.
Here's one thing I really hate about living here. And I think this is like the only thing that really annoys me and that really makes it difficult for me to be here sometimes. It's the weather. And this is the one thing, or one of the few things, that I cannot control. The weather. When it rains here for like several days at a time, which sometimes it does, it's the mountains, then everything becomes a bit more difficult. It gets cold, the tent starts to feel really claustrophobic, I can't really go outside, I can't take Vilk out, I can't really make a fire. Everything just becomes harder and less pleasant. So I just don't know if I can be here that much in like springtime, because that's when it rains the most. I've been thinking about staying here over the winter this year, but I don't really know if it will be possible, because it really just depends on the kind of winter that it will be. If it's snowy and beautiful and crisp and cold, it's probably manageable to live in a tent. But if it's rainy and wet, it might just be a little bit too much. Always the weather, isn't it?
And instead I am forced to think more about the immediate concerns, the tiny little frivolous, trivial things that help me survive out here, like getting my water and spending an afternoon washing my hair and chopping wood in the forest. I love being out here despite the discomforts and difficulties, because in a way This lifestyle is an antidote to the modern world. It's a form of escape, I guess you could say.
Okay, check this out. This looks beautiful. Gonna add some cream cheese to this mix of potatoes, onions, garlic, and carrots. I have a feeling it's gonna be glorious. And do you know why? Because it was cooked over a fire. This may just be the best thing I have ever cooked in my entire life. Here it is. Isn't it glorious? I know you want to eat it, but it's mine. You've already had dinner, buddy. You've already had dinner. This is like one of the most delicious things in the entire world. And of course I'm going to share it with you, yeah. Just hang on a minute. Here we go. Little cheese for you. Happy? What? So tasty. It's mine. You've already had dinner. Dude, you had like breakfast and you had dinner today. You had much more than you normally have.
A place where my mind gets to expand and open up. A place where I don't get crushed by the weight of the existential dread of the entire world around me. This place is where I can actually breathe. Right here. And once in a while, we all need to be able to take a deep breath.
I need to show you something. There's like bits of grass in this dish. There's all sorts of things in this dish. I wouldn't be surprised to find ants or a grasshopper inside this pan, honestly. But I think this is like one of my favorite things that's come out of all of the like discomfort and out of living outdoors, is that I've become a lot less like squeamish, a lot less bothered about the little things, a lot less like spoiled in a way. I think I can just at this point eat anything, do anything and be quite content. And that's a really huge life win, if you know what I mean. Yep. The grass. Ooh, quite a lot of grass. Doesn't make it any less tasty.